Most, if not every musician that you listen to is not actually talented. Let me explain. When people see me play my guitar or hear my siblings play their instruments, this is what we hear. Wow, I wish I had talent like that, or I can never do that. I don't have that kind of talent. Maybe you've heard these comments before, maybe you've even said them yourself. Well, after spending almost 3 years learning to play guitar, I'm here to tell you that it is not actually talent. Now, this news may seem disappointing, but it's quite the opposite. It's actually encouraging. Most musicians have spent years and years of their life learning, practicing, and refining their skills from very young ages. Why? Because musical skill is not a natural talent, it's a learned skill. Music is not just for talented people, it's a talent learned by dedicated people. And this means that you can learn to play an instrument, whether you think you can or not. And you don't need to start with an exquisite amount of music theory knowledge. You don't have to start at a young age, and you don't need hours and hours of practice a day. I simply learned the basics of guitar in 1 year by practicing a little bit every day, and I've only been getting better since. No, I will never be a world-traveling musician, but I have benefited so much from learning guitar that I want to persuade everyone here to pick an instrument and start learning. Today, I will share why you should learn an instrument, how you can start, and the benefits of doing so. Now, there are many reasons I can give you for why you should learn an instrument, but let me just share a few. First, music is a constructive hobby. Not only is it fun, but it offers so many benefits for your brain and social life. Whether you choose to play violin, piano, or guitar, all these instruments produce music, and it's through this music that you can learn about yourself, express creativity, and experience its therapeutic effects. Next, music develops a wide range of skills. According to musicalpursuits.com, you will develop time management, reading, listening, learning, and performance skills, among many others. Lastly, music is fun and enjoyable. According to musicalpursuits.com, music releases dopamine, a happy chemical in our brains. When we hear a pretty song, develop a new skill, or get a compliment while playing our instruments, our brain releases dopamine. I remember when I was just learning guitar, every time I learned a new song, I got this feeling of success and accomplishment, and that drove me to learn more songs. The fact that I was able to enjoy guitar as a hobby is what helped me get better. So now that you know why you should learn an instrument, let me share with you how you can start learning. The first step is to pick the instrument you want to learn. Now, this step may be the hardest considering that there are so many options, but my personal advice is to pick the instrument that inspires you. For example, I enjoyed watching the worship leader at my church strum his acoustic guitar, and that's what I chose. I came across an interesting 2013 article by Megan Romer while doing research for this presentation, and she suggested that you pick the instrument you want to learn based off the music you listen to. For example, if you enjoy classical music, you might venture towards violin or piano, whereas if you enjoy rock and roll music, you might venture towards electric guitar. Whatever instrument it may be, once you have chosen it, it's important to purchase a good quality but an affordable one. Next, it's time to determine which path you're going to take. There's essentially 2 paths to learning. You can be self-taught and use YouTube videos as a guide, or you can take lessons in person or online. Your goals are really going to determine which path you're going to take. Music is like any other hobby, like a sport. For example, basketball. If you want to learn basketball, become good at it, you don't have to necessarily become an NBA star. But if you want to pursue basketball as a career, you will probably consider hiring a personal trainer that can help you become really good quickly. But if you simply want to enjoy basketball as a hobby, you can learn on your own in your backyard or at the park. Same thing with music applies. If you want to pursue music as a career, maybe become a musician one day, it's important that you probably hire someone to train you. But if you simply just want to enjoy music as a hobby, you can learn on your own with YouTube videos. That's what I did. I learned how to hold the guitar, tune the guitar through YouTube, and I learned simple songs through YouTube. And after I developed a hobby for guitar, I decided to teach myself music theory once again through YouTube. And that's how I progressed. Next, it's time to set up a routine. How many days will you practice and for how long? If you have a busy schedule, don't worry. I came across another article, a 2023 article this time by John Delia, and he suggested that if you do have a busy schedule, you can learn an instrument with only 20 minutes a day. Now, it's recommended that you do way more than that, about an hour to 2 a day. If you can, it'll help you progress faster. But the good news here is that if you do have a busy schedule, you can in fact learn an instrument with at least 20 minutes a day. So now that you know why you should learn an instrument, how you can start, let me share with you the benefits you will experience by following through with this. First, music is a stress reliever. According to musicalpursuits.com, music has an actual soothing effect on your cortical levels and psychological systems. Now, there's a whole science behind this that can be explained, but I'm sure we can all relate on music's therapeutic effects when just simply listening to music. Next, music improves cognitive functioning. There are many tests that have proven this, but an interesting one that I read about was on makingmusicmag.com, and they explained that SAT exam scores were compared, and it proved that those who played an instrument scored higher in math and verbal related areas than those who didn't. Now, a reason for this is, as I explained earlier, learning an instrument develops a wide range of skills. Lastly, learning an instrument does not only improve your IQ, but it also improves your EQ, your emotional intelligence. Music communicates emotions through its tempo, its rhythm, its chords, the notes, the lyrics, and a listener learns to interpret these things, but a musician learns to take all these musical tools and communicate with them. They essentially learn to speak the language. This form of self-expression and creativity that is learned is one of the best benefits of learning an instrument. So in conclusion, musical skill is not a natural talent. It must be learned. And today I've shared with you why you should learn an instrument, how you can, and the benefits of doing so. Learning guitar is one of my greatest accomplishments, and I have experienced many of these benefits that I have shared with you today. Now, if you still think that you need some talent to get started, let me assure you I did not start with any talent. Everything I can do on the guitar has been learned, and it's one of the best decisions I've made. But you don't just have to take my advice. Consider what Ry Cooder once said, and I quote, "You are not born with certain skills, you must acquire them," end quote.